Hey there, it's Wendy from Worldwide Speak. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about paragraph structure, basic paragraph structure. And this video is geared towards English language learners, but even if you're not an English language learner and you need to know about paragraph structure, this is the video to watch. Now you can see here that I have an image of a box, and you're probably wondering why I have that image when I'm talking about paragraph structure. But I want you to keep in mind that a paragraph, like a box, contains something. And like when you're moving, you put like items into boxes so that you can find them easily when you get to your next destination. And a paragraph does the same type of thing. It contains one type of information, so it's really easy for the reader to follow your writing. Let's take a look at how this is done. All right, it's important that we know what a paragraph is when it comes to writing in English. A paragraph is made up of a bunch of sentences that talk about one central idea. Your paragraph stays focused on one thing so that it's easier for the reader to follow your writing. Also, the paragraph has three parts. The parts are topic sentence, supporting detail sentences, and a concluding sentence. So the paragraph talks about one thing and it has three pieces. Okay, so we really need to pay close attention to that first thing I just mentioned, and that was that a paragraph is a group of sentences. It's made up of sentences that talk only about one central idea. This is crucial for you to understand so that you can write a paragraph that's clear and cohesive when you begin writing in English. Now, right now, I would like you to pause the video and take the time to read these two paragraphs. We're going to take a look at what this paragraph cohesion or unity looks like. Okay, thanks for taking the time to read those two paragraphs. As you can see in the first paragraph, I talk about how talented my dog is, that she can roll over and she's super fast, she can chase squirrels, and she's really smart because she learned how to fetch the newspaper at the end of the driveway and bring it back when she was just a puppy. So the only thing I'm talking about in that first paragraph is my awesome dog and how talented she is. So it's super easy for the reader to follow along because I'm just talking about one thing. Well, now if we take a look at that paragraph right below me, the second paragraph, this paragraph has some problems. As you can see, it starts out really well. It's talking about my dog and how talented she is, again, how she can roll over. Then it starts talking about her toy that she likes. Okay, that's a little different than talking about how talented she is, but it's still about the dog, so it's okay. It's not great. But then I start talking about my brother, and I'm confused because why am I talking about my brother if the central idea of the paragraph is about my dog? So now as a reader, I'm confused because I've put my brother in there, and then I'm reading about my brother thinking, oh, maybe it has something to do with my dog. But then I read further and I talk about my sister and beaches in California, and now it's a disaster. I'm completely lost as a reader. There are too many things going on in this paragraph. I'm talking about my dog. I'm talking about my brother. I'm talking about my sister wanting to move to California. Help. That is too confusing. So if you take a look at these two paragraphs, you can see why it's so important to have one idea per paragraph. When you look at that paragraph where I just talk about my dog, it's super easy to read. It just has a nice flow to it. The reader doesn't get confused. Oh, but in the next paragraph, that one right below me, that's super confusing because the writing is all over the place. The paragraph isn't contained in with just one topic. It's the dog, the brother, the sister, the beach. That slows a reader down, causes them to have to reread because they're confused and they lose interest or they just stop reading altogether. Remember the box at the beginning of this video? It's containing just one thing. Your paragraph, like the one just about my dog, it just contains one thing. When we try to put too many different things in one box, what happens? Well, the box typically overflows or possibly breaks. The same thing with our paragraphs. Keep it focused on one central idea. Okay, so we talked about unity in your paragraph or keeping it focused on one central idea. And we saw a good paragraph and a confusing paragraph. Now let's take a look at the actual parts of the paragraph, the structure of the paragraph. Remember, there were three parts: the topic sentence, the supporting detail sentences, and the concluding sentence. Now, from the good paragraph in the last slide, the topic sentence was about my dog and how talented she was. The subject for the paragraph is my dog, and the one thing I'm going to focus on about my dog is how talented she is, right? That's the controlling idea. That focuses your paragraph on one specific thing. Now, the supporting detail sentences are the sentences that are the meat of your paragraph, because with words they describe the talents of the dog to create a picture in the mind of the reader. And these sentences support the topic by showing in complete detail what this looks like. And remember, these are your reasons and your examples. And in the paragraph that I did on my dog, some of the examples were that she was fast because she could catch squirrels, and she was smart because she learned how to fetch the newspaper when she was a puppy, right? And then we end the paragraph with a concluding sentence that restates the topic sentence. It reminds the reader what the topic was, and that was my dog. And we talk about how talented she was, but we just use different words so that we're not too repetitive. Okay, so what does the basic structure, the basic paragraph structure look like when you're writing your sentences? My students would always say to me, Wendy, how many sentences does my paragraph need to be? And I would say, well, as many as it takes for you to explain your topic in complete detail. And they don't like that answer. But it is true. There's not a set number of sentences. But when you're beginning, sometimes it helps to have a number in mind. And so if you were writing sentences for a basic paragraph, you'd have a topic sentence, a supporting sentence, another supporting sentence, and you'd have a bunch of supporting sentences, and then you'd have a concluding sentence. So that's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's about 8 sentences there. That's probably your bare bones paragraph. Now, remember, keep that image of the box in mind. You have all these sentences here, and they all need to be on one topic. And so it needs to be nice and contained in one topic that's really focused, so it's easy for your reader to read. Now, let's say we take this basic paragraph structure, topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence, and we apply it to the paragraph that I wrote. Remember the dog paragraph about my dog who is so talented. So if we're looking at this paragraph and we're applying the structure of the paragraph, it looks like this. Topic sentence, my dog is extremely talented, and that's in blue. And then all of the supporting sentences are in orange. And then the last sentence of the paragraph is the concluding sentence. This is your basic paragraph structure. And hopefully this will help you visually to see how we structure this when we write in English. That we have the topic sentence, we have the supporting sentences, and then we have a concluding sentence. Okay, my friends, there you have it, the basic paragraph structure in English. Remember, we're only going to focus on one thing per paragraph, like the good paragraph about my dog, not the bad paragraph or the confusing paragraph that talked about my brother and my sister and beaches in California and my dog. That was a disaster. We're only going to focus on one thing. And then you need the three pieces of the topic sentence, the supporting sentences, and the concluding sentence. And that's it. Now you have the formula. You know how to write a basic paragraph in English. You can do this. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to learn with us. We truly appreciate it when you watch our videos. And if you enjoy them, please consider subscribing. Best of luck in your writing. Take care.